Здравейте, аз съм Дима и съм стопанката на този магазин. Искам да ви представя днес Реми, която срещнах за първи път на бургаския плаж със своя съпруг Пол. Ваяха невероятни фигури. Втората ни среща беше в магазина, тя вече беше тук като клиент. Третия път се срещнахме като приятелки. Най-сладкото предложение за приятелство, което съм имала и съм получила от нея. Получих съобщение: "Здравей, Дима, искаш ли да бъдем приятелки?" И от този момент нататък ние сме приятелки. Тя е приятел не само мой, но и на магазина. Оказва се, че Реми, освен прекрасен ваятел на пясъчни фигури, е и познавач на подправките, билките в България и не само. Мисля, че причините, които ви изброих, са достатъчни, за да поканя Реми днес тук да води свое собствено предаване. Пожелавам ви приятно гледане.
My name is Remy Hoggart. I'm married to Paul Hoggart. I'm from the Netherlands and we're both sand sculptors. We live in Bulgaria and we live in a little village, Mihailovo. It's near Stara Zagora, but we only live there part-time, and the other half we live in Burgas, where we create sand sculptures on your beautiful beach. You might have seen us. And to make sand sculptures you have to be physically fit. You have to be strong, and it is hard work. We have to shovel that sand, we have to carry the buckets from the sea, and we have to be physically strong, and that's why I'm really interested in keeping healthy, obviously. And we believe in diet above pharmaceuticals and taking responsibility for your own health. And that's why this shop is so interesting to me, because you have all these wonderful herbs and spices here, and they can help you keep healthy. Today I want to talk about nettles. These are the dried form, but you can pick them yourself. And nettles is actually my favorite herb. It's my personal friend. It really helps me. When I was young, growing up in the Netherlands, we played outside a lot, in the swamps, in the forest, and you know, as a child you encounter nettles and you get stung. You all know the feeling. And my mom taught me the companion plants and the antidote to nettle stings. You have plantain, purple dead nettle, and creeping ivy, ground ivy, and you just squash the leaves and you rub it on where you got stung, and it disappears, the sting. So I don't have to be afraid of the stinging nettle. And these companion plants is very interesting because they always grow right next to the nettle. So you can really easily find them because they're always there. Plantain, they got parallel leaves. The purple dead nettle actually looks like the nettle, but it got little purple or white flowers. And you have creeping ivy, which is smaller. I didn't see that much of those in Bulgaria. But we all know the nettle because everybody got stung once in their life by the nettle. But actually the nettle sting is not that bad for you as you think, because it can actually help you with arthritis. And the sting, that's good to know, it won't last very long. When I was a teenager, I had very pimply skin, super embarrassing. It runs in the family, lots of pimples. But my mom took me nettle picking, and we used to dry it like this and make a tea. And with the tea I would drink it every day, and it clears up the skin. So it really helped me from a young age on. And now, I like the taste too, actually. Now when I'm in the village, I go nettle picking, especially in the spring. So it's now a little bit too early, but in a few weeks the nettles will come up, and you harvest them when they're really green, so the first tops, because that's got all the power and it tastes sweet. Later on in the season they will get darker and they will start to bloom, and then you don't want to pick them anymore because they taste a bit bitter. And the way I clip them, because you know they sting, so how do you harvest them? I do with a little scissor, I clip it off and I manipulate with the scissor the top of the nettle and put it in my basket or colander, what I'm gathering the herbs with. And I use the fresh nettles to make a soup. I really like nettle soup. And nettle soup tastes a little bit like seaweed, actually. Maybe because it's really high in iron. And Paul and I, we really like nettle soup. And the rest of the nettles I lay out to dry in carton boxes, a thin layer, because you need lots of airflow around it. And then after a few weeks, I turn it around to dry the bottom as well. And the funny thing about the stinging nettle, when it's dry, it doesn't sting anymore. So you can just handle it. So you don't need to be afraid that you burn, that you get stung on your tongue. Also, when you make soup, it takes the sting out as well when you cook it. You can use the nettle as a vegetable, actually pretty much like spinach. You can blanch it, you can make soup of it, you can bake with it. And it's free food, very tasty. I drink nettle tea every day. For me, because I have asthma and allergies, and nettles are a natural antihistamine. So every day I drink it, and it helps reduce the allergic reaction. It's also a natural anti-inflammatory, so that helps with lots of complaints, and it boosts your immune system. So in the winter, it's really good to drink nettle tea, because it might get rid of your colds or prevent your colds. I hardly ever have colds in the winter. One more fun fact. Monkeys like nettles too. They eat nettles, and the way they pick them, because they don't have gloves or scissors, they take the leaf and they scrunch it up real fast. Because what stings by the nettles are the little hairs on the leaves. And when they scrunch it up, it takes the sting out, and then they can eat it. So that would be another way to pick nettles, I guess. So, if you're not brave enough to pick your stinging nettles yourself, you might want to buy them, because ДИМА got them in her shop. And with these dried nettles, you can make nettle tea, which I made here. It turns quite dark, and it tastes quite savory, actually. It's not a sweet tea. So it tastes a little bit like soup, but I personally really like the taste. And you can also make soup with dried nettles, or bake with them. You just have to add some water and let them, boil. So, in the winter, get your nettles from ДИМА's shop and enjoy them. And I really like that it's green, dark green. Yeah.